Homer wants to tow away the plane in the air from the ground. The pilot said the air was his turf. Homer had a flash of inspiration. Once he towed it down, it would be his. And all of this happened just because Maggie wouldn't go to sleep. Marge tried to trick her by saying everyone was asleep, but outside it was clearly anything but quiet. Left with no choice, Marge went to get a bottle. She asked Homer to watch the baby while she prepared the milk, but Maggie was so clingy that an accident happened.
Spilled milk.
Homer sobbed over the spilled milk. To make sure there was always milk at home, Homer had to run to Apu's convenience store in the middle of the night, but all the milk had been bought by students to build flying contraptions.
Does it work?
Kinda.
Homer decided to try his luck at Moe's Tavern. Moe said all he had was one glass of white liquid.
It's paint. Or is it? Yeah, it's paint.
With no other option, Homer drove on and on. He finally bought milk at a supermarket in the neighboring town, but his car was parked in the wrong spot. The tow truck driver slapped chains on it and hauled it away. Homer begged the driver desperately. The driver agreed to give him a ride.
Okay, let me just grab my registration.
Homer immediately noticed how easy the guy's job was. He could listen to music and cruise around. He was basically a god who ruled over cars. Seeing Homer's interest, the driver decided to invite him to become a tow truck operator, but he could only operate in Springfield, and for just $500, he could get his own tow truck.
Not sure my wife will go for these naughty mud flaps.
Not to worry.
Finally, the driver warned Homer again that he could only make money in Springfield. If he ever came onto his turf, he would twist his head off. And so, Homer began his tow truck career. He was a bit nervous the first time. He hooked the wrong spot and hit the gas too hard. But soon Homer adapted to his new job. When a rich man begged him to stop, he just stepped on the gas. Homer gradually grew unsatisfied with just towing illegally parked cars on the ground. As long as a plane was parked unreasonably, he would tow it down and deal with it. Eventually, he developed the skill of towing cars while taking his kid along for the ride. If either father or son had any normal human emotions, they wouldn't be able to handle the thrill. The towing business made Homer a lot of money. He often splurged at the bar, buying drinks for everyone. However, the bar tab was just a small piece of bait. Their cars were clearly parked illegally.
Looks like he's driving away with it.
No, he's just moving it so it won't get towed.
Soon, a huge pile of cars accumulated in front of Homer's house, waiting to be reclaimed. Even the school bus and the kids on it got towed. Of course, the principal's car wasn't spared either.
You can't impound my spirit.
Homer's behavior quickly offended every resident in Springfield. Although they had indeed parked improperly before getting towed, everyone still directed all their anger at Homer's photo. At that moment, the principal's mother said that among her many ex-husbands, 3 had been tow truck drivers. And the biggest taboo in the towing world was towing on someone else's turf. The crowd decided to use someone else's hands to deal with Homer. A few of them went to the neighboring town and changed the sign to read Springfield. Then they disguised a car as illegally parked in a handicapped spot and waited for Homer to take the bait. Sure enough, Homer fell for it instantly. With so many tickets and violations, this car would give him the highest commission of his career. Just then, the driver suddenly appeared and stopped him. Homer tried desperately to explain, but it was obviously useless. The driver kept his promise and knocked Homer to the ground.
Put me down, you lousy! Okay, I'm warning you. I'll kill you, you son of a...
Homer was dragged into a basement. To his surprise, several other tow truck drivers were imprisoned there. Judging by their appearance, they had been locked up for a long time. Meanwhile, without the tow king, Springfield was filled with an air of freedom. Cars could park however they wanted. If there was no space, they'd just park on top of other cars. The streets were completely jammed with cars parked every which way. Even blimps and boats joined in on the chaos.